Hey, what's up? My name is SKIX, and today we're gonna do some real-life CG. So, what do I mean by that? Well, I want to make a picture that if you look at it, it could be CG, or that there are effects that you would normally do digitally, but I want to do them practically. As usual, there are some restrictions. I obviously can't use Photoshop or 3D or whatever. I can only edit the photo in Lightroom, nothing else. I had two ideas. Either one, maybe something with floating, and the other one more fantasy-like. Either way, I needed some stones. And I stumbled on a video that explained how you can make rocks out of plaster. Because I wanted to... And because I can't do it large scale, I have to do small scale. So, it's time for my first miniature. Let's get started. I've never done a diorama, I've never used plaster in any shape or form, so this is gonna be fun. So first I'm gonna make some molds where the plaster can go in. I used aluminum foil and I wrapped it around random stuff like dices, a Jenga block, and a roll of duct tape. So then it hit me. What if I wrap the aluminum foil around the duct tape so I can have a circle? Then after that, you have to make the plaster, which is a bit more plaster than water and just mix it really well. And when it's still really fluid, you can actually pour it into the mold. That's it. Just let it dry. Take it out after 2 hours so the hardening will get better, but that's it. Just wait. Do be careful though when you're unpacking it. The first time I used too much water, so it was really sticky and I was really afraid I was just gonna tear everything apart. So I'm actually really happy with these. I never thought they would be coming out like that. So at this point I decided the circle is gonna be some sort of portal. So what I did here, I carved in little creeks to add some more detail, which I couldn't do in the mold. Then after that, I painted everything black as a base layer for all the paint. But don't be too rough with your plaster, else you end up with little pieces. I looked it up and apparently wood glue is really good for this, and apparently it really works because it's still holding up. Then I made a base of clay for the portal to sit in, and I wanted to wrap it over. I didn't do that yet. So now I made a base for the portal out of clay. I got some aluminum foil and just made it into a ball and stamped the clay, and that's how you get those little creeks. Then after that you also need to paint that. But this wasn't enough. I wanted to create more of an environment. So I got a little plank and started putting down clay on that. I added some stones, some sand, and little pieces of wood. And also stamped everything with aluminum foil, of course. I added a little rocky spikes and some details to actually make the environment more fantasy-like, that it actually would be less realistic, to make it look more CG. Then I saw people using brown wash for wood. I didn't know where to get that, so what I did, I mixed up some brown acrylic paint, added some water, and it actually works really well. Then after that, paint the whole base black. And then a little trick, if you get a lighter shade of the shade you just used and lightly tap it over, only hit the high spots, and that's where it gets realistic. So now it's time for shooting. I hung up a black sheet for a dark environment, and primarily what I did, I have a theater light. I put that on there. I have this little light that actually is lighting me the whole time right now. I put it behind it. I tried to experiment with some long exposure eventually. I had some leaves that are here now, and I thought they would maybe give a cool effect. I had some little candles that I thought made a cool effect, and it did, but not in the way I wanted. I added some more stones that I made, and the thing that eventually saved me, a laser pen. So what I did is take a long exposure photo, take the laser pen, and put it at almost 90 degrees of the portal. That way the creeks only would catch the laser pen at their high points, and with a long exposure it would actually get really bright, because I turned my lights down a lot. The scene was pretty dark compared to the laser pen actually, but it would all light up because of the long exposure. So now I'm gonna start editing and try to make everything come together and create as cool as possible CG practical image. So I think I'm done with this one. Roll the B-roll. In total for this I took 360 photos, but I can only choose one to be the best, and this is the one I went for. So as I said, this was a video full first. I've never made a diorama like that. I never created something as a miniature in that way, and especially with the lighting and everything. It was really weird, but because it was the first, but I really did like it. I think the end image is insane. I never thought that would come out of this, and it's a good way to challenge yourself, to just try on something new, and maybe it will work, maybe it won't, but then you at least tried. So that was it for this week. Let me know in the comments if you thought this was a CG, a real life photo. Did I make it? Did I not? Let me know. If you liked the video, make sure to give a thumbs up. If you want to see more, just consider subscribing. That was it for this week. Until the next one.